Competence in the clinical skill of EKG collection is demonstrated by uploading one video for review by the course instructor. The technical requirements for this video include real-time continuous audio and video throughout the clip with no evidence of editing. Additionally, the video uploaded must be accompanied by a signed consent form that includes consent for the student and patient or model to appear on video. A sample consent form is provided in the EKG module. The student will introduce him or herself and his or her role as a medical assistant. It is not essential for a clinical supervisor to be present for this non-invasive clinical procedure. The student will explain the EKG collection procedure to the patient and the steps involved. As part of the initial introduction, the student should confirm the patient or model's understanding of the procedure and elicit their verbal consent to proceed on the video. For example, "Hello, my name is Joseph. I'm one of the medical assistants here in the clinic today. Can you tell me your name and date of birth?" "Thank you. As you probably know, your provider has requested that we perform an electrocardiogram today. After applying 10 sensors, 6 across your chest and 1 on each extremity, the EKG machine will record the electrical activity of your heart. The machine does not send any electricity into your body, but only records the electricity coming off your skin. It is a painless procedure. With your permission, I'll ask you to lie back on the exam table, face up, while I wash my hands and prepare the EKG equipment. The medical assistant should demonstrate knowledge of infection control standards in patient care by washing hands before and after patient contact and demonstrating the use of gloves in patient care when clinically indicated. For the clinical task of EKG collection, the medical assistant should wash hands with soap and water or use a hand sanitizer. The use of clean, non-sterile gloves is not required for routine collection of an EKG unless the patient or medical assistant has open lesions or the skin is otherwise not intact. It is important for the student to demonstrate his or her knowledge that it takes time for germs to die with both hand washing and hand sanitization. Don't rush through these important basic skills. While the medical assistant is washing hands, it's a good time to summarize the procedure and inquire if the patient has any questions or concerns. The medical assistant ensures that a female patient is appropriately covered with a gown that opens in the front. Chest leads are placed on women so as to maximize their modesty. If a woman's breast must be moved to place chest leads, invite the patient to reposition or hold the breast out of the way. The medical assistant will always be sensitive to the temperature in the room when any patient is partially disrobed. Limb leads are typically placed first, placing the sensors over muscular, not bony structures. Chest leads are placed using specific landmarks. During the performance of the EKG collection skill, the student medical assistant must demonstrate that he or she knows how to correctly count intercostal spaces and how to locate the essential EKG landmarks, such as V1 at the right sternal border, 4th intercostal space, V2 at the left sternal border, 4th intercostal space, V4 at midclavicular line in the 5th intercostal space, and V6 at the mid-axillary line in the 5th intercostal space. V3 is placed midway between V2 and 4, and V5 is placed midway between V4 and 6. Following correct lead placement, the machine recording is begun. This usually takes 1 minute. Once the recording is printed, the medical assistant should review the printout for artifacts. If there are no obvious artifacts to warrant a second recording, the leads are removed and the patient is invited to get dressed as the medical assistant exits to wash hands and label the EKG recording. The medical assistant removes and disposes of his or her gloves appropriately, if used, and washes or sanitizes his or her hands. With clean hands, the medical assistant adds to the printout his or her initials and other essential clinical information if already not recorded on the printout by the EKG machine. Essential information includes height, weight, age or date of birth, name, gender, date and time of recording, and EKG operator name.